All right, Darren.
Steve,
Thank you. I've been very good. Thank you for taking part in part 2 of this session.
No problem.
Part 1 was great. I want to let you know that I did some analysis on your 24-hour recall. The results were good. I mean, you definitely had a healthy diet, which is great. I mean, I know you were trying to achieve that. And yeah, you've been making some great progress there. But before we actually start this session, are you still okay with me giving you advice on your diet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, great. And the last time you were talking about how you were looking for nutrition tips on how to put on lean muscle. Is this still the advice you're looking for?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Gain mass and
okay, great.
mass I can.
Okay, great. Because I did put some stuff together to hopefully help you achieve that goal. So basically today what we'll do is we'll just kind of go through this together. I'm going to hand you one right here.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome. Before we even look into this, though, I want to explain a little bit about your dietary analysis. So, even though you are in a very healthy diet, and which is great, and no matter what we talk about today, I want you to keep that health aspect in your diet.
Okay.
You know, obviously, you know, me going to school for nutrition, I want to, you know, see you continue eating healthy, you know, your vegetables, you know, your fruits, all that. So,
all right.
Definitely keep that up. But the thing is, even though you're eating healthy, you can still, that could be a counterproductive measure to actually putting on mass. Not the fact that you're eating healthy, but actually the fact that you're not eating enough and not enough of some certain macronutrients, especially protein.
Oh.
Yeah, looking at your analysis here, I got your total caloric intake for the day was about around 1,800 calories. And you said this was pretty much accurate of a normal day? Yeah. And your protein was at 102 grams, which, you know, isn't bad. For a normal person not looking to put on muscle, that'd be fine. Actually, more than enough.
Oh, okay.
But since you're looking to put on muscle, that protein level, the actual recommendation for somebody trying to put on muscle is about 0.8 to 1 gram per pound body weight. So that's pretty much, since you're at 205, you're still at 205?
Yep, correct. Yeah,
okay.
205.
Yeah, 205. So yeah, that would put you like though around the 50% mark. So you're definitely falling short on protein. So yeah, I mean, looking at this, I had put together these recommendations here. So I personally want you to still keep eating healthy, but eat more.
Okay.
Actually, want you to start putting back on some weight if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, you know, room for me to want to eat some more. And it's just, you know, obviously I've been in the habit of, you know, eating when I'm healthy, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I'm actually going to increase the intake of...
Increase intake. Keep the food
What
healthy.
would you suggest? In more protein or... How about vegetables and protein or just protein?
I would say keep the vegetables in whenever you can, keep your fruits in whenever you can, but definitely have your diet based around protein consumption. You know, try to get a lot of lean meats in. And
when you say to gain weight, what if I have, I don't know, some foods that might be a little less healthy?
Well, that's okay too. You know, especially in moderation. That's fine.
Okay, so it's all about the calories and the protein, really.
Essentially, yes. Actually, and actually, I mean, I know a year ago you started working out. You told me from the last session, and which actually looking back at the video, I was kind of thinking this, that you were trying to eat healthier. You know, maybe lose some weight and put on some muscle, which a lot of people try to do. I see this a lot. A lot of people want to lose weight and put on muscle at the same time. Mm-hmm. There is actually very few people that can actually achieve this. I mean, there's genetic outliers. They can certainly burn fat and put on muscle at the same time, but for a lot of people, that's very hard to do. So, yeah, I mean, I would recommend, if you have a goal to lose weight, make that your goal. If you
one or the other, yeah.
One or the other, exactly. So, but since specifically, I mean, that's still what you would rather do right now is put on the mass, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say let's focus the goal on actually putting on the mass.
So not even worry about the weight.
I want to worry about the weight a little, but I want you to put on weight. But let's not go overboard because, you know, I mean, the muscles they can only achieve. You want excess calories for your muscles to build.
So you're saying that you just want me to be more conscious of trying to have more More of the healthy foods that I'm eating, essentially.
Essentially, absolutely. Yeah, actually, if we go to the end here, I know it's skipping ahead a little, but on the last page here, I gave you 20 great protein sources that you could reference.
Okay.
So, and you got a whole list here. I mean, I know you didn't like fish, so I left off anything with fish. So yeah, I mean, there's just some great options here you can go through.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it gives you some options to pick out through the day. I even gave you a sample menu here, what a day would look like, eating I put this was a sample day that got up to 195 grams of protein. So you can just kind of, not saying this is exactly what you should eat every day, but just kind of give you kind of like a template. Kind of a template of what, you know.
This is what you want me to follow, or you're looking for me to.
Kind of what I'm looking to follow. Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. So you have those 20 protein good sources. I mean, there's other great sources, but that's a great starting point. Try to kind of make the day around here, like, you know, for breakfast, you know, I got, you know, at 4 eggs instead of 2, some chicken with that salad instead of just salad. Yeah, I mean, just other great things like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, even beef jerky. Most people think, you know, just a little snack, but high in protein. So basically, what I outlined here for you is 2 different options here. First of all, we have your goal here is to put on lean muscle. I'm going to have a more measurable objective for you. I am going to want you to put this. I mean, this is if it's okay with you, of course, to put on about 5 to 6 pounds over the next 3 months.
Okay, 3 months, 5
3 months,
pounds.
which is it's not a real whole lot.
It's not a ton.
It's not a ton, and the whole reason behind that is, you know, we want the muscles to utilize the calories. We don't want these extra calories just going to fat. So keeping your calorie, what we're doing is going over your calorie maintenance level. Your calorie maintenance level meaning the amount of calories you need just to stay at your same body weight. We want you to go over a little bit of calories, is what I'm going to have you do here.
All right.
And that in those extra calories, we want it to be used for muscle building purposes. That's why we're going to keep that calorie surplus low, so those calories are going to go to your muscles and not just be stored as fat. So there's going to be 2 options here. I give you 2 options because this could be a complex thing. So I'm going to give you 2 options here. Option 1 is going to be what we have here is actually tracking your calories and your protein. Now, this option would require the use of a food tracker. I put my FitnessPal here just because that's the one I recommend, and it would require a food scale. It's going to involve a lot of reading labels, weighing out your food, and tracking it throughout the day, but you're going to get a precise number here for, you know, your calorie range and your protein. You'll kind of know each day, okay, you know, this is how much calories I had, this is how many proteins I had. You know you're hitting it that way. But as we just talked about, there is some work involved in that. But I would, you know, I would let's look at it as an experiment. I would like to see you start with that one. You know, just have an experiment, see how it goes. At any point you feel it's a little burdensome to keep tracking your calories, you're overwhelmed by it, instead of just quitting the diet altogether, we'll take it back to option 2. And option 2 is basically just a more laid back version of option 1, where instead of tracking your calories and your protein, you're just going to kind of more eyeball it. You're just going to keep a conscious awareness that, you know, you're trying to eat more than you have been. You're going to try to get more of those good protein sources. So, yeah. I mean, how does that sound?
I like option 1.
You like option 1. You feel you're up for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so I would just need a food scale?
Yeah, I mean, food scale, you can pick up a food scale very cheaply, probably under $10, Target, Walmart, anything like that. You know, we can download that from my FitnessPal app right to your phone. You know, I can show you how to use it. Yeah. Once you get into, I mean, at first, I've used it quite a bit, and at first it is kind of like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. But if you get used to it and kind of get in the rhythm, it's not so bad. So,
all right.
I know you have some determination to reach this goal, so I think you could do it. So that's why I would definitely like to experiment with option 1 there.
Sounds good.
So since though we don't know your exact caloric maintenance right now, the average caloric maintenance for most people is about 2,000 calories. Let's just say that's yours for right now, and let's try to go 300 above that. That should put you on about an extra half pound a week, gaining about an extra half pound a week, and it's kind of what we want. That should put you around the 5 to 6 pounds within 3 months.
That's while working out?
Yeah, that's why working out. Actually, I do, since you mentioned working out, on days, okay, so if we have your maintenance at 2,000, and we want you to be in a 300 calorie surplus, that means about 2,300 calories a day I'm going to want you to try to consume.
Okay.
Now on days where you do cardio still, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, you told me in interview one that you did like about 20 to 30 minutes cardio.
Yep.
You know, that probably usually burns about 200, 300 calories, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, now on those days where you do that, I want you to eat back those calories.
Oh, okay.
If you run, so you're eating 2,300 calories for that day. If you run and burn 300 calories, I'm going to want you to consume 2,600 calories for that day.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right? Keep you at that 2,300 calorie maintenance.
All right.
And basically, I'm just going to want you to, get on the scale once a week, the same time, maybe first thing in the morning is usually what people like. Don't every day, a lot of people get on the scale every day. You fluctuate a lot, water weight. I don't think that's necessary. Once a week, get on the scale. Now, after 2 weeks, if you find yourself not losing any weight, increase by 200. Go another 200 above and eat 2,500 a day if you haven't gained any weight. Now, if you're gaining too much weight, I want you to reduce it by 200. If you gain a little over a pound, I'd say that's okay. But if you're gaining, say you weigh yourself in 2 weeks and you gain 2 pounds or more, reduce it a little. Because you're putting out a little too much at that point. And
we're looking at a half pound a week.
That's our goal here. A half pound, a small surplus, just enough for muscle growth. We want to try to minimize that extra fat as much as possible.
All right.
And we will gain some, but it's impossible just to be in a surplus and not gain any fat. But as we mentioned earlier, we can have those two separate goals. We can have the goal to put on mass now, and if there's a little extra, excess fat later on, we can have a goal to take that off later on. Is that something that you'd be comfortable with?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. I say we try this out, and we'll see how it goes. Do you have any questions or concerns, or?
It looks good. I see that you put the weight of the recommended protein sources, so that'll be a big help. So,
I did. Yep, I gave you a breakdown of the actual grams per.
There's definitely some things on here that be good choices.
Absolutely, great. Yeah, and I try to kind of write down kind of what we just talked about here, so you can go back if you are kind of curious of what we talked about, and
here's a question I have for you.
Yeah, sure.
Now, dependent on what I eat, what if I like to eat the same thing, and I want to have the chicken breast?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's 24 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say I don't want to deviate from that. I'm very particular in what I eat.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Is it okay if I get my protein intake while eating the same thing?
Absolutely. If you're comfortable eating the same thing every day and you're just kind of a creature of habit, so to speak, in that, absolutely.
Okay.
24 grams of protein is 24 grams of protein.
All right.
Whether it be from 4 ounces of chicken, 4 ounces of steak, don't matter. Yeah.
Whatever. If I'm not sick of it, it's good to go.
It's good to go.
All
exactly.
Right. All right.
So no, I think that's great. So yeah, I say we give it a whirl.
Sure.
See. All we can do is try. We'll try it out. See if see any results. If you start seeing some improvements, great. We'll stick with it. And if not, we can make adjustments.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you're comfortable with everything we talked about, and
definitely
don't have any more questions?
I'm all set. Yeah,
okay.
That's great. So when will we meet again?
Really? You know how to get into contact with me. So if you have any questions at any point, please do. But we can officially, even after this is over, meet up and kind of take a look at the progress. Sure, definitely.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it works out too. So
sounds great.
Okay. Well, Darren, I want to thank you again.
Yep.
It's been a big
Thanks
help.
a lot.
All right, definitely. Yep.